Today is the new Wi-Fi standard HaLow, also known as 802.11ah, ready to address the mass market for IoT. We'll ask my guest today, Michael Lee of Newracom. Join us right after this short message. All right, everybody, I'm back, and we're back with another episode of Wi-Fi Now TV, and my name, of course, is Claus Hetting, and this is the show that brings you all the stories and not least all the great people from across the Wi-Fi industry, and today is the first time a Wi-Fi Now episode will be addressing the issue of IoT, and the reason why we're doing that is, of course, that we now have actual news to share with you regarding the HaLow standard, or 802.11ah, a new Wi-Fi standard which is designed specifically for long-range IoT. And more about that in just a moment with my guest, Michael Lee from Newracom. He has a number of things to tell us about that. I'm really looking forward to speaking to him. So, but before we get to Michael, I want to say a couple of things. I want to make sure that you know that we're taking Wi-Fi Now, the Expo and Conference, to London, UK, this October 25th to 27th. There's a little more than 2 weeks to go, and more than 300 passionate Wi-Fi people have already signed up to join us, and so can you. We have more than 40 expert speakers ready to share their insights with you, not least an expo with 30 companies participating around there. So check out our event program and find out a lot more about all the great things going on in London in this October. Go to wifi-now.international. If you have any questions, drop me a line at klaus@wifi-now-events.com. Always very happy to hear from you viewers out there. And so that's it for my announcements. And I'm delighted to introduce my guest today, Michael Lee of Newracom. Michael, great to see you.
Hi, Klaus. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Yeah, well, you're most welcome, Michael, and good to have you on the show because we're going to be talking about IoT, and I've been following the work that Newracom is doing. But before we get into that, just give us a quick introduction to Newracom, the company, because there's an interesting story, I think, behind the formation of the company and so on.
Yes, definitely. Thanks again for giving me the chance here to introduce about Newracom. So Newracom is a pretty young company. It's just about 2 years young, based in Irvine, California. And the founding, as you mentioned, is actually very interesting. There is this very famous government institute in Korea called ETRI, E-T-R-I. So they have been known in the industry for lots of innovation. They've done like CDMA, they've done a lot in the Wi-Fi space, ABGN, Vibro, WiMAX, and even LTE. So they have a huge division, thousands of people that are funded by the Korean government. And our founder here of Newracom, Dr. Lee, he got the permission, number one, from ETRI to spin out the entire Wi-Fi division of ETRI to found Newracom. So ETRI was always, because it's a government organization, they couldn't and they did not monetize on all the innovation they've done. So Newracom now is a totally fully independent company based in Irvine that is actually trying to commercialize based on all these innovations that have been done in ETRI in Korea. So now we are actually on the verge of doing several solutions in the Wi-Fi, especially on the IoT space, to bring really Wi-Fi. I mean, it's already in the mass, but bring it even more to the mass. We are working on technologies like 11AH and so forth. So
fantastic story, and all of a sudden, this company appearing out of nowhere, so to speak, with a super research division and research and development, obviously grade more than 100 engineers, I guess, right? And working out of Irvine, and it's all Wi-Fi. So you can imagine I'm delighted. But let's talk a little bit about HaLow. And first of all, because I don't think that many people know what HaLow actually is. by HaLow, we mean 802.11ah, and I know you're one of a maybe small handful of companies right now working on this. Just give us the short introduction to HaLow.
Yeah, so HaLow is the Wi-Fi answer to IoT. So there have been lots of hype, lots of technologies around the IoT world, low power WAN, all kinds of technologies being introduced, commercialized, and so forth. Wi-Fi always has been more or less in the higher end of space, not on the IoT space. So the Wi-Fi, the IEEE and the Wi-Fi Alliance, they have been working on this standard for quite some while, and they released a draft version of HaLow, which is in a sense sub-gigahertz, under 1 gigahertz frequency to achieve a longer range. They have multiple technical, let's call it, technical options to keep the power very low, to keep the data rate low, and to have many devices access the AP at the same time. So it is in a sense a low power WAN technology, but based on the Wi-Fi brand and based on the Wi-Fi technology with full backward compatibility to ABG and NAC. So
well, exactly, and I think you at the end there you raise a really good point, because as I understand it, and agree with or disagree with me as you wish, it's an integral part. HaLow is an integral part of the Wi-Fi family of standards, and will eventually be a part of a Wi-Fi chipset, presumably, so it'll be included in any number of devices out there. Is that also how you view it?
Yes, that is the goal of Newracom. So initially we started off with an 11AH, let's call it a standalone solution. So we have the reference design, we have everything ready. We are working with renowned ODMs and vendors to start to bring it to market attention. But at the end, the ultimate goal, as you mentioned, Klaus, you're absolutely right that it's going to be an integrated part of the existing solutions that exist today to be fully aligned. We call it like a tri-band, 2.4 gig, 5 gig, and 900 band. So you have the whole range of Wi-Fi technologies available in one solution.
And Michael, you've already been testing the 802.11h system, and I've come across, I think, a news report where you described some of your results. Can you tell us a little bit about your results here?
Yes, thank you. Thanks for bringing it up, Klaus. We have announced a brief press release about the tests we have done in terms of range. So we try to prove that 11AH can actually achieve over 1 kilometer of distance at a very steady rate. So what we have done, actually, we have tested close by our office here in Irvine at a more or less line of sight. It wasn't full line of sight, but it was an over 1 kilometer range where we tested our AP together with our station at the frequency of the higher frequency of the sub-gigahertz, so 920 megahertz we tested. And we achieved a very steady rate of over 500 kilo BPS at a 1 kilometer distance. So what that actually means is, I mean, we are in Wi-Fi, we are so used of, if we go out of the house, it's not going to work. That's what we're usually used to. But we tested like really 1 kilometer of distance with steady throughput that can be used for an IoT system.
So what do you think the big applications for HaLow would be in coming years? So I know it's still very early days and so on. So the Wi-Fi Alliance has been talking a little bit about in-home type or home type applications in the vicinity of your house. When you mention your test here, I'm more thinking of, at least in part, some industrial applications. What do you think are the big areas here?
Yes, I mean, we think actually more, we try ourselves not to position us to a specific application, because we believe that we can be a much bigger part of the ecosystem, in that we can address the generic, let's call it, topic of IoT, like smart home, smart meter, industrial type of applications. But the big picture really is that this AH, as part of the Wi-Fi ecosystem, we can, by integrating AH together with the other technologies in one home router, for example, application processor, which almost everybody already has today in the homes, that by using this, we can create not just an IoT network, but also increase the range of your standard home Wi-Fi. So as the base of initial application, definitely would be targeting applications like in the smart home. And due to the feature that we can support like relay type of functionalities, we can and we will address industrial applications. And also actually in the smart metering space, we see a lot of interest in the 11H technology. So there's several.
Clearly, right, exactly. And clearly cost is one of the big benefits of Wi-Fi technology. Would you agree with me on this? I mean, I kind of imagine that when HaLow hopefully sometime soon comes out and hits the market, it'll be a small additional price on top of existing Wi-Fi gear out there, or perhaps in some cases specialized gear, but not a huge additional cost to what's there. Is that also how you envision it?
That is exactly how we envision it. So it should be a very small increase of cost. The big benefit really of AH compared to all the other low power WAN, for example, technologies out there is the cost factor should be incremental to what people already have today. And don't forget about the ecosystem, the Wi-Fi, the name, the IEEE. It's huge. The whole ecosystem. It does not need to be created from ground up like some other technologies are doing. So yes, definitely, you're absolutely right.
Great stuff. And when do you think HaLow is going to hit the markets out there? How far are we in time terms, so to speak?
That's a very good question. Yes, so our target is to come somewhere in the second half of next year to hit like from the consumer point of view in terms of market, because right now we're at the stage of developing, working with partners in the ecosystem to come up with end product designs on the ODM level. So we expect it to be in the second half of next year for someone to actually see devices in the market.
Great stuff. It's great to have you on the show, Michael, and we're delighted. Hopefully this will be the first of many episodes where we, including yourself and probably also other guests, will be able to discuss, the HaLow story, because I think it's an exciting one. Just finally, last question for you, Michael. What's the next big thing for you guys? I know you're working on AH. Anything else you want to tell us about? Any new developments?
Yes, actually, Newracom AH is our bread and butter today, but going forward, because of the root of the ETRI, we have done, and we are actually very, very active in the next gen of Wi-Fi 2, which is 11AX. So Newracom is extremely active in the standardization effort. So all of the innovations that we are doing in-house, we are trying to protect ourselves. So we are very active in the standards. So we hope we will come up with a very, very good 11AX solution together with AH, especially for IoT applications. So that's what we are going for.
That's fantastic. And I want you to come back and talk to us about AX on another show, because that's another area that I really want to cover. I know it's still early days with that one too, but it's great to have you. Thank you so much for coming on, Michael, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Klaus. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody, that's it for today. My guest, Michael Lee from Newracom. Thanks to him. Great to see him. So don't forget to go to Wi-Fi Now International, .international, I should say, to register for a London event where you will get to meet lots of people. By the way, Michael Lee from Newracom will be there. He has confirmed, so you get to meet him as well. And, of course, many other great companies in Wi-Fi. And that's it for this episode. See you next week, and thank you for watching.
Wi-Fi Now is a production of RCR TV News. To suggest a show topic or to learn more about Wi-Fi Now events, you can reach Claus Hetting at klaus@hettingconsulting.com. To find out more about Wi-Fi Now and all things wireless, visit rcrwireless.com.